Hello again, my lovely tribe. It's your girl, Michelle Jones here for another episode of Tribe of Many Nations. If I seem a little off my game, it's because this is literally the second time I'm trying to film this. I pulled one of those whole, filmed the whole thing and then realized that I wasn't actually filming the whole time moments. So yeah, this is take 2. Anyway, I hope you guys all had a fantastic holiday season. Happy Christmas, Yule, New Year's, all of that. For Christmas, I do want to show off my new and blessed Saint Benedict pendant that my cousin William got for me. So I love you, cuz. Thank you. And it's very fitting that I'm wearing it today because we are diving back into our Demonology series. So get ready for a pretty dark topic today. Which of course, it's so fitting that it is raining outside and completely miserable. Yeah. Fun. So today I do want to talk about some different terms that I have been finding riddled throughout different books on demonology, different lectures and films about demonology, different terms that I think you guys might want to know about, learn about, different things like that. And then we'll dive into some other topics because y'all know I'm chaotic like a crazy person. The first topic, or the first term that I want to show or express or share with you guys is transient possession. So, okay, how is that different than regular possession? Transient possession is basically where the demonic force, the negative entity, whatever you want to call it, is kind of testing the waters. So the person will experience random moments of just blackouts, random time losses, random moments where they don't feel like themselves or they lose themselves basically. And basically what these are random moments where the demon itself is actually stepping into the person and taking temporary control. And the reason that the demonic force, entity, whatever, does this is to break the person down, to wear them down, to finally get them to that point where they're willing to hand over the self-control, or that they're just too desperate or afraid that they just give up the fight. That moment that you give up the fight is when full possession takes over or occurs. Another term that you guys might want to know about is called religious provocation. And basically religious provocation is where someone who's involved in the exorcism or house cleansing or blessing or whatever you want to call it, provokes the demon to show itself, to present itself through the name of Jesus Christ, God, Allah. It does seem that in most scenarios of exorcism, because it's more common to hear about demons through Christianity and Judaism and things like that, that the names specifically like God and Jesus Christ tend to have more of an effect. Does that mean that Christianity is the only religion? No, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that in the majority of cases on demons and demonology and exorcisms, most of those are all from a Christian or Jewish or Muslim background. So it's not that uncommon to hear Allah, God, Jesus Christ. But yeah, this is basically provoking the demon to show itself, basically for proof to the person about to perform the exorcism that they are needed, that they are required, that an exorcism or a blessing does need to take place. I'm not saying that it always works, because religious provocation doesn't always work. Depending on the demon, they may be able to resist it. They may understand the game that's being played and hide themselves. So it's not that religious provocation always works, but it is a good tool. However, it's a good tool for people who know what they're doing. If you are someone who has never battled, for lack of a better term, a demon or a negative entity, I highly encourage you to never provoke them, because again, you don't really know what you're doing. To go toe to toe with a demon or negative entity, you need to really have unshakable faith. I'm not saying it has to be in the Christian God. I'm just saying you really need to have unshakable faith and a decent moral character, because any and every flaw that lies inside of you is going to be attacked, is going to be brought up, is going to be turned against you when you're facing a demonic entity or negative spirit. So yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, if you've never done it before, I highly encourage you to seek help from someone who has a priest, a preacher, someone of the cloth, someone who understands their theology and understands what they're getting themselves into, or and even better, someone who's already been there. Then of course there's the term magical whisperings, which I find interesting because I had never really read that before. And demons are not the only spirits that can whisper in your ear. Like for instance, the human, or what were once human spirits, different types of spirits can create whispering noises, but for demonic purposes, the whisperings usually are a tool for them of like psychological warfare. So imagine if I was just sitting here in my room completely by myself. My dogs are here, but it's not like they can whisper words in my ear. And all of a sudden I hear these voices, these whisperings. Probably like something that someone who is schizophrenic may have experienced. That would drive me insane. First off, it would terrify me because I don't know what the hell is whispering to me. And it would eventually kind of make me question my sanity and possibly drive me insane if I wasn't already. So there's that. It's definitely a psychological warfare tool. And with demonic whisperings, a lot of the times what's being said is in a foreign language that you can't understand, or it's just a mishmash, like you can't understand the words that are being said. And that's because when a demon is using these magical whisperings, it's just to basically try and make you lose your mind. There's no point in the whispering. It's just a tool for them to make you question your sanity and make you doubt yourself. Speaking of psychological warfare, demons also have the ability to focus their psychic attacks on one individual, even if that individual is in a crowded room. So that's how a lot of the times they will wage war inside the home. They will have one, maybe two people or so that they focus their attacks on. They will make these people see things, hear things, smell things, experience things in the same room as the rest of their family, but the rest of the family doesn't see what's happening, doesn't experience it. So that does two things. It makes the person experiencing it question their own sanity and doubt their own mental health. And it also makes the family question their mental health and their sanity. So, like, that's obviously setting up an episode for a familial breakdown, right? For family drama to just go spouting off. And of course, if they can spark that fire in a family or in a home that already had anger or tension or hatred or anything like that going on, they feed off of that. So of course they're trying to cause tension and cause strife in the home, because that's what they feed off of. But another interesting thing about demons and demonic entities is that sometimes they will have specialties, if you will. They will specialize in something. For instance, like I've read several cases where the demon would identify their name as being one of the 7 deadly sins, like anger, pride, lust, envy. And it's not necessarily that is the demon's name, but knowing that does give the exorcist power over the demon, because now you understand what the motives are, where it's coming from, better. Not that we would ever fully understand the motives of a demon, but you know what I'm saying. We kind of understand what its goal is, for instance, a little bit better. One thing that is absolutely terrifying to think about is the idea of a demonic sexual assault. And I know a lot of people don't believe in things like that. I know it's kind of sick and twisted, but there's been a lot of TV shows, romance novels, all based and revolving around the idea of a demon lusting after a human. And the idea has become somewhat popular and somewhat like romanticized. And it kind of freaks me out because like reading real life cases of demonic sexual assaults, it's nothing like the romance novels. Okay? Not the same thing. And being a rape survivor, I don't know what the hell that would be like. As far as like, that it takes it to a whole new level of psychological and spiritual and physical warfare on someone. If you've ever survived a sexual assault or a rape or anything like that, then you know what it means or what it does to your sanity to have your free will taken in that moment, to have your body violated in that way. Like, if you've ever felt that kind of betrayal and that kind of just sickening feeling, then I mean, I can only imagine that when it's a purely evil demonic force, that it's like this times 10. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's not the same thing as a physical experience of being molested or raped or assaulted. But at the same time, if you read over enough of the cases involving succubi or incubi or whatever you want to call them, they do have a very physical element to them as well that's very painful. And whether or not that's all in the mind, if that's just being portrayed in the mind as occurring when it's not actually occurring, it doesn't matter because the mind is our reality. So if we're experiencing it in our mind, then we're experiencing it in our body as well. So it's just really sickening. It's really horrible to read those cases that involve succubi and incubi because, I mean, for one, you have so many people who don't believe that that's possible or that that would ever happen. But at the same time, reading and listening to the first-hand accounts is a different experience than just hearing about it. There's something very emotional. There's something that's very relatable. As someone who has been through something like that in the physical realm, you can like see it in their face that like, yes, they have experienced that. So, and no, I'm not saying that it's all real per se, but I'm just saying I do believe that it is possible for a demon, an evil force, to kind of like wage war sexually on a person. And honestly, that's just one more way that they use to break that individual down. So demons themselves, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, don't have genders. I feel like they can portray themselves as either gender, depending on what their purpose is or what they're trying to do or accomplish. So I feel like they could materialize as female or male, with depending on whoever they're trying to attack and what that would get them. I know we've already talked about the 3 a.m. hour being like the evil hour or whatever, but really most theologians, not just theologians, but most demonologists will tell you that between about 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. are like the psychic hours, nighttime, when most of us are asleep and dreaming. These are the moments where we're more susceptible for a psychic attack by a demonic entity, or any entity really. It's also why most, or it seems like most, paranormal encounters of any kind, demonic or not, occur during 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. We're just more susceptible. It seems like during those hours where we're supposed to be asleep, it's like our third eye just kind of naturally opens a little bit because we're already supposed to be unconscious. So it just makes more sense to me that we would experience more paranormal activity during those hours. The last thing that I want to touch on today before I let you guys go is the art of divination. Okay, so with my shop and the things that I've sold, yes, I have sold and made Ouija boards, spirit boards. I have sold pendulums. I have sold tarot cards, crystals for crystal gazing. All of these things are tools for divination, and I'm not ever going to tell anyone to not use them or to not practice the art of divination or anything like that, because I used to do it and I still use the tarot cards sometimes as well. So I'm not going to tell anyone don't do that, but what I am going to tell you is to just be cautious when using those tools of divination. Because when you are focusing your energy on the divination, or if you're focusing your energy on the spirit communication, you are opening yourself up to the possibility of being manipulated by demonic and negative entities. So in those situations, just make sure that you are protected. Use the circles of salt, use prayers, use holy water, whatever it is that you have faith in, and that helps you set your intention for the divination and for the magical workings that you're doing. Make sure that you're doing that consistently and every time. And I know I'm a huge hypocrite because I've done it. I've literally just popped out a Ouija board and used it. No intention, no nothing. Thank God nothing happened to me during those times. But I just, like, even though nothing has ever happened to me to even prove that demons exist, there's just something in me that knows that they do. And knows that somewhere I have a very amazing guardian angel. I know I say that a lot, but I literally feel like I do. But yeah, just definitely be cautious. If you want to hear more about different safety precautions, I did make a video over my 31 days of Halloween on safety precautions for like paranormal investigations, and they can also be applied to magical workings as well. So there's that. I know today was kind of a shorter video. I only touched on a couple of topics, and I know it's a little chaotic, but we're slowly working our way through my little demonology notebook that I've been keeping forever. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you want to share any experiences that you have had with demons or negative entities or any paranormal experience, go ahead and hit me up at tribeofmanynations@aol.com. If you don't want me to share a name, you don't have to give me a name, but if you want me to share your story on my YouTube channel, I would love to share your story and the lessons that you learned from that. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for being supportive over the holidays, and I hope you all had really awesome holidays and a really good time of just like light and positivity and family. If you didn't, it's okay, because we're in 2019 now, and we just need to let the past fade and focus on the future. So with that being said, if you liked today's video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. If you haven't already subscribed, what are you doing? What are you doing? But that's it, guys. I love you so much. I hope y'all are having a really good week and staying out of the freaking rain if it's raining in your area too. But yeah, love you. Peace.